Alright, here for another Innistrad block draft. I have not drafted in a week, so hopefully I'll get right back into the swing of things. Well, looks like we got here Claustrophobia and not much else. I mean, else Rebuke is okay, but yeah, this pack is just overall not very impressive. I mean, let's see what we might get back. We might get the Oculus, but very doubtful. I mean, there's what, like this will probably go second. Geez, maybe like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, yeah, eight. I mean, we'll probably get like the Urgent Exorcism. Somebody might have taken the rare over or something, so maybe like the Kessig Wolf will come back. But yeah, this pack is pretty shallow. I mean, I guess if somehow we end up tabling Runic Repetition and get like a Burning Vengeance deck, that might not be horrible. But yeah, doubtful that we're going to get anything else from this pack, but Claustrophobia is just the best card here, and we're going to go ahead and take it. Well, they obviously took the rare here. We got an Armored Scab, a Battleground Geist, a Monolith Hallowed, and the Priest. I think I favor like blue-red, blue-black over blue-white, and we just passed a white card, so I'm not really leaning toward the Priest. I think for that reason that blue-black, I like blue-black a little bit better than blue-red, and Monolith Hallowed is a very, very good card. I should mention there's a Blazing Torch too, but since there's some strong options in our colors in terms of the Scab and the Monolith Hallowed, I think I'm just going to stay on target. Well, strong options in our color, though Monolith Hallowed is another color. As I said, I think blue-black is a strong combo, so I think I'm leaning toward taking the Monolith Hallowed here and just going the blue-black route. And seeing as there are 3 blue cards, we might be able to wheel one of these blue cards. It's even interesting to note there's a Curse of the Bloody Tome, and maybe we could get a mill deck if we see that on the back end. Well, here, Forbidden Alchemy is fits right with our plan. Definitely card we're looking for. None of these other cards are that exciting. I mean, Harvest Pyre is okay on the splash, and it's definitely decent in blue-red. But since we took the Monolith Hallowed, I mean, Forbidden Alchemy fits quite nicely. They've taken a rare and an uncommon here, so not entirely sure what they're playing yet. None of these cards are really, like they're trying to signal us into a color or anything like that, though they might have thought we would have gone blue or black, or even white based on the cards they passed us in the last pack. Well, this is no good. You see a Travel Prep and a Chapelgeist and the Cultist. All good cards and not in the colors that we have so far chosen. Again, a rare and an uncommon and 1 common's missing, so I guess we can't tell too much about this, but if Travel Prep's here, they're probably not going green-white aggro. I don't think Stormcrook Patrol or Bitterheart Witch are all that good. Or really what I want to be doing in a blue-black deck. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Cultist here and maybe look for like blue-red. I mean, if we have to, just because it's the best card in the pack and works the best with our colors so far and with what we have. Yeah, and I really can't, I don't think, go into the blue-white route at this point. Well, this is really interesting to see, because Silent Departure is a very good card. I mean, Chapelgeist is pretty good. Rage Thrower is really solid, and Desperate Ravens is okay, but one of these red cards, oddly enough, might come late. It's also interesting to note there's another Curse of the Bloody Tome. There's a lot of these, so it's possible we could go for some kind of weird mill strategy if we end up wheeling a bunch of those, though these cards don't necessarily lend themselves to that. I think I'm going to take the Silent Departure and just cross my fingers that the Desperate Ravens tables out of these red cards. Rage Thrower is good, but again, we're probably not in, or not 100% sure we're in red yet, but we're probably in blue based on what we have in the blue department, and Silent Departure is very good, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Well, kind of got rewarded here. I mean, Stitch Drake's great, and it looks like blue's being underdrafted. I mean, none of these cards are that impressive. I mean, Occultist is okay. I don't know why I still call him Oculist. Yeah, the Occultist is okay. Delver, I don't really like that much unless you have a ton of sorceries, which we're kind of moving that way. But Stitch Drake, obviously very good. So yeah, it looks like blue hopefully is underdrafted. And I mean, we're probably just getting the island back out of this pack, but maybe if somebody's crazy, they might ship us one of these, like a last pick Frightful Delusion or something that we could end up using. Yeah, maybe we should be in the blue-white. Like, if we'd gone the blue-white route, just seen Throbbing Center, like, we've seen a lot of Chapel Guys, things like that. I mean, obviously, we'd have had to pass up a few of these other picks. But looks like, you know, if this had been the Priest, we could have gone a blue-white route, and we might have been in a little bit better shape, because it looks like white's being kind of underdrafted right now. But we've shipped so much of it, I expect to be seeing, like, black or red on the comeback. We haven't seen a lot of black, so I think black is being cut off. That being said, I don't really like the Neonate here, even if we are blue-red. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Altered Reap. And continue to ship the white cards. Yeah, wow. This white-green looks like it must be very underdrafted right here. Could be a case for taking the Riot Devils. I mean, we're a little low on our creature count right now. But I think I might just go ahead and take the Traveler's Amulet. We could be splashing, since, like, we could be splashing black here if we're blue-red. Riot Devils really doesn't excite me. Like, if we are blue-red, I'd rather have access to a Traveler's Amulet to get that swamp than the Riot Devils, so I'll just go ahead and take that there. And I mean, there weren't a lot of cards in this pack, so I wasn't really expecting to get... I mean, I thought maybe this would come back, but blue must be not being drafted, because this was the only playable blue card here. And there really wasn't much else. I mean, I would have expected these to be gone over a bunch of the other crap out there. So it's possible that red's also underdrafted. I mean, there was like the 1/5, I think it's Handwear Watchkeep is his name. I don't think there was another red card aside from these two. So it looks like red is also, yeah, a little bit underdrafted, so he might be moving in that direction and away from this black. Because black looks like it's been cut fairly adequately. Well, we could take the Tome here and look for a mill-type strategy, but other than that, like, we really don't have. I guess there might be another Occultist coming. I'd rather, I think, take the Riot Devils and just be a little bit safer. Well, I guess we had another option at Riot Devils or Tome. We could have taken another Tome. But now I think I just go ahead and take the Riot Devils. And we did get the Frightful Delusion back. Not that I'm going to play it in all likelihood. I mean, it's interesting that we got a Witch. Could end up going the Witch route. I mean, oddly enough, our black is still about as strong as our red. I mean, Alter's Reap is actually okay, too. Such that we could go either direction, though. It looks like black... It looks like black was pretty overdrafted, though. I think Scourgedog High Priest, even on the splash, is quite a powerful creature, and I think I'm just going to grab him. I mean, Grasp, don't get me wrong, is amazing, but we didn't ship any black. I think blue is underdrafted, and I think we're going to see some black getting past us in this pack, and this guy's just really good. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to lean toward taking him. I mean, we could even end up splashing him. It's not, you know, he's not really a 2-drop. He's more of a later game drop, depending on what your opening hand is. And, I mean, we might wheel, like, the Cannibal. I mean, nobody's drafting blue, but I don't think this is going to go that far. Somebody's going to take that. And there's, like, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's not many playable cards. I wouldn't actually be surprised if we wheeled anything from this pack, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Priest right there. Wow, well, I think the Noble is probably the best card in this pack. Again, like, I really kind of want the Armored Scab and the Apprentice. Hopefully one of those will wheel. Probably the Apprentice. So in that other pack, in the first pack, neither of them did. I think... Gosh, I think the Occultist wheeled from that pack. I don't even remember now. I'm kind of... when you're out of practice, you kind of forget things a little bit. But yeah, I think since we just took the High Priest, the Noble's actually a really good card to keep us around in the game. And boosts our creature count a little bit for the Priest. I think we will end up wheeling something from this pack. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Yeah, even 9 cards. I mean, if we end up getting, like, Burning Vengeance, Dream Twist is fine. There's a lot of decent stuff in this pack. So, take the Noble there and move in this direction. Well, at the moment we're not splashing red. So the Sulphur Falls isn't that important. I think I'd rather just have the Forbidden Alchemy, even though this is worth a couple tickets. I mean, the price is obviously going down, and Alchemy is a decent card. I'm gonna hide the Witch too. Like, we really need to get up our creature count a bit as well. Gosh, yeah, I mean, this is kind of tough. I think the Alchemy is the best call here, though there can be an argument for that Falls just to help for a splash. Well, we upped our creature count right there. We only have 4 creatures, and we obviously Deadweight's a very, very good card. But Murder of Crows is just superior. I mean, we need creatures. It's an amazing creature. Hopefully we end up even getting like Stormcrook Patrol or the Ghoul Caller's Chant here. Chant's actually pretty good when you have 2 alchemies. And when you have powerful stuff like this guy and this guy to get back. However, this guy's not looking amazing unless we can up our creature count big time with just even crap creatures like the Fen Snake or the Patrol. Well, this is an interesting one. I don't think the Goliath can be a pick for our deck right now, especially with our low creature count. So it's either the Stitch Drake or the Banshee. You know, Banshee's not... I think I'm leaning toward the Stitch Drake. I mean, Banshee, it's so hard to activate. There was a that 1/1 you can sacrifice a creature guy to enable Morbid, which we might actually play with the High Priest. But yeah, I'm not sure how good Banshee is anymore, just because of how hard it is to enable it. Especially in a deck like this, I think Stitch Drake is just gonna be better. Yeah, and we'll just be aware that there is a Banshee out there. Well, I think Deranged Assistant is just what we're looking for right here. I mean, Typhoid Rats is okay, but the Assistant puts stuff in our graveyard for our Drake, and, you know, activates with our Priest, gets these guys out a bit quicker. Yeah, just what we're looking for. In fact, Fortress Crab is another card that's not too horrible in our deck. I'm going to go hide the Ultra Street for now. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather have the Crab than the Ghoul Caller's Chant. It's important to have the creature body for these guys, and he helps us get to our late game to activate our Priest and take over the game with our Flyers. Well, this one's actually a little bit tough. I mean, Fen Snake, not amazing. Brainweevil, not amazing. And Ghoul Caller's Chant works kind of well with our alchemies. I mean, we do want more bodies, but now we actually have the Moan, and we have 8 bodies. So I think the Chant might be a little bit better. I mean, Brainweevils is okay in terms of the fact that you can trigger Morbid for that. And in fact, the person with the Banshee is probably going to end up with the Brainweevil if I don't take it to trigger Morbid. But I think just picking up a Chant here is fine. We got a couple zombies already. Ooh, and I'll gladly take an extra creature on the wheel there when I didn't think I was getting anything back. Okay, well, we got the Chant. We got a couple zombies already, so we could either take the Walking Corpse or the Apprentice. I think the Apprentice is actually the way to go, since it triggers Morbid with the High Priest, even though it might be a little difficult to have 2 other creatures in play plus this guy. But it also triggers these 2, which is a pretty sweet deal. Though the Walking Corpse is good, I think this guy is what we want for the synergy of this deck. Same could be said about this guy. I mean, we're not playing any of these cards. I'd rather just have the card we might be playing in its place. Interesting. We already have 1 Ghoul Caller's Chant. I don't think we're going to play another. The Rotting Fen Snake actually gets better when we have Ghoul Caller's Chants and other zombies. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Fen Snake here. Oh, we got our fill of crappy creatures in the last few picks here. Looks like our deck's kind of coming together. I mean, we have a way to win through the Drakes, through the High Priest, and these 2 other Flyers. We got some card advantage, and we got some search for all that. So it looks like it's coming together fairly decently. I really wish we had been able to take that Grasp, but such is life. I think here, Stitch Drake is... I mean, we're kind of getting overloaded on him, but I still think it's better than any of the alternatives. We don't have a lot of sorcerers for the Pike. I mean, this is kind of, I think, meh anyway. Though, I guess you could argue that with the departure of 2 alchemies to pump your graveyard a bit, it could be good. But I still think the Drake's just going to be better here. And hopefully we wheel like one. I mean, we might get even another. I'd rather play like Patrician than, you know, Man or Skeleton. Hopefully we get some of that stuff back, which is quite possible. Well, Silent Departure fits well with our deck here. Not really much else for us, so... I mean, Corpse Lunge is okay, again, especially with Stitch Drakes, I guess, and like Rotting Fence Snake, but I'd rather have a Silent Departure here. Wow, and the white just keeps flowing. I guess Battleground Geist is really the strongest card for us, and I wouldn't be unhappy playing it. I'm going to go ahead and hide the Cannibals, because I don't think they're going to make the deck right now. Interesting. I don't think this guy's going to make the deck either. Well, we got an option of a Ghoul Raiser or another Silent Departure. I actually think the other Silent Departure is fine. I mean, with 2 Forbidden Alchemies, like this deck kind of is going to dirt a little bit in the beginning, unless you can get lucky with one of these guys in a ranged assistant. And if we can just slow them down a little bit, our flyers should be able to take care of the late game. So I think Silent Departure is fairly solid. I mean, it's a little bit better than the Ghoul Raiser in my opinion here. We might wheel this guy, but doubtful. Well, we keep getting decent choices in our air attack. I mean, I can go ahead and probably hide this Fence Snake now. I think Moon Heron is going to be probably the strongest pick here. I mean, Sensory Deprivation is actually okay in our deck. But I'm pretty sure Moon Heron's going to be a little bit better. Wow, and that is a late Geist Flame. Rolling Templar is actually pretty decent for us too, but I think Deranged Assistant will be the pick here. I mean, again, it helps us get our bigger guys out faster, Flashback and Alchemy and all that, and pumps up for our Stitch Drakes. Huh. Actually don't know what the optimal amount of... We're going to hide the Traveler's Amulet. What the optimal amount of... or the maximum amount you can run of those type of guys. But I think he is going to be better than the Sensory Deprivation, so I'm going to go ahead and take him. We certainly have a lot of graveyard removal stuff at the moment. So I don't know how good Ghoul Caller's Chant's actually going to end up being. I think Corpse Lunge is the pick here. I mean, it works pretty well with our other stuff. So we got Stitcher's Apprentice or Typhoid Rats here on the wheel. And again, Stitchers work so well with our other cards. I think I'm just going to lean toward that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take him. Go ahead and hide the Manor Skeleton here. And, yeah, I don't think we're going to end up playing the Ghoul Caller's Chant, actually. I mean, we got a decent amount of zombies. The problem is we're removing so much stuff from our graveyard that we might not, you know, have enough to bring back. And here, I guess I'll be taking the other Corpse Lunge. Go ahead and hate the Spectral Flight there. We don't run into the that Invisible Stalker deck that ends up getting a billion flights. I've never actually played 2 Corpse Lunges before, but this, I mean, looks like it could be the deck for it. Now I have to decide if it's even worth playing a Fortress Crab. I mean, it doesn't work with the lunges, though it does work well with the High Priest. And you will note that black definitely got cut. I mean, we hardly saw any black. I'm going to put both lunges in for now, aside from our Mono the Unhallowed and our Noble and our Scourge-Stack High Priest, which were first pick, second pick, second pick. Other than that, the black was kind of eaten up, though we did get shipped a lot of blue. I mean, I think the right call here would just be removing the Corpse Lunge. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 cards that remove things from the graveyard, it might get a little dicey playing a 6. Even though with the 2 Forbidden Alchemies and the 2 Assistants, we got plenty of stuff to fill the graveyard. I don't really think we want to cut any creatures, since we have a lot of stuff that triggers with them, like the High Priest. And keeping our creature count high for our other creature removal spells. So I think this is the best thing to cut. I think I'm just going to run a 10-7. I mean, this is the only card that's going to be really hard to cast. We don't really... Wow, they recommend a 14-3. That seems a little insane. Yeah. I don't think I want to go with a 10-6. That might be just pressing it a little bit in terms of being able to cast them on the Unhallowed. I think 10-7 is going to be fine, though. Hopefully we're not going to get... Like, these aren't necessarily 3 drops. These are more like 4 or 5 drops sometimes. So I don't think we're going to get... I don't think we need to move to an 11-6 type mana base. Though, there definitely could be arguments for that. Gosh, maybe I should. I mean, God, just looking at this, like, this guy's not necessarily a turn 3 or 4 drop. I mean, this is best on turn 4, obviously, but it's not always going to be in our hand. Yeah, I think 10-7's okay. I think we're going to be fine. I will see you for round 1.